Hi, and welcome to a Long Island Wargaming Battle Report. This is Nick, and we got here today
Kyle.
We're doing a 1250 battle report of Warriors of Chaos, the new book, and Dark Elves. This was kind of a really last-minute pickup game. We just kind of picked up a pad, made a list in like literally 5 minutes or less. So it might seem a little silly, but it brings up some really interesting playouts.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Stuff that like usually doesn't happens, and I mean we were kind of rushing through it, so like some of the decisions we made were like really weird. So I mean, don't take this game too literal, but I mean, watch, it's really cool. Alright, so we rolled for scenario and we rolled Watchtower. So I immediately gave Kyle the win because my list would pretty much automatically lose, so I take a free loss on that. So we re-rolled and we did get the Dawn attack, so everything was just all over the place in the wrong place. So I feel like for myself, Warriors of Chaos, everything ended up in a really annoying position, especially since I took a cheesy army that consisted mostly of chariots and monsters. So the chariots can't march, so they were just stuck all over the place. But I'll go from top left to bottom right there. I have a Demon Prince there, Chaos Armor, Scaly Skin, Sword of Striking, and the Mark of Nurgle. Next I have a unit of War Dogs, and then after that is a Gore Beast Chariot, followed by the Vortex Beast. And then another unit of War Dogs. These guys have Vanguard. And then the two Tomb King's chariots are regular core chariots with the Mark of Nurgle. Also, that Gore Beast chariot does have the Mark of Nurgle. And then that slanty deployed chariot is a regular chariot with a hero on top. And that hero has the Ruby Ring of Ruin and then an extra hand weapon.
All right, I'm going to go through my deployment. This is, from the left to right, it is a unit of Witch Elves with full command. And in the unit of Witch Elves right there, you can see holding the Chalice of Blood is a Death Hag Battle Standard Bearer with the banner of Hag Grafe, which is always strike first. Next to it is a War Hydra with 2 Beastmasters. Next to that is a unit of Spearmen, or Dark Elf Warriors with Spears and Shields, full command as well. And go back. And in that unit is a Lord Sorceress, level 3, with a Tome of Furion for 4 spell. And from right to left here, I have a unit of 5 Dark Riders with a Musician and a Cold One Chariot.
Alright, so for magic, I took no caster, but my hero on the chariot does have the Ruby Ring of Fire, or Ruin, or whatever. And then the Mutalith Vortex Beast does have that bound spell, so that's where all my dice will be going this game. For the Dark Elves?
For my magic, I rolled the level 6, which is Final Transmutation. Where is it? Transmutation of Lead, Glittering Robe, and Enchanted Blades of Abane, and I exchanged Transmutation of Lead for the signature spell, Searing Doom.
Alright, so we have our Vanguard moves right here.
Alright, this is Dark Elf's turn 1. I moved my Dark Riders up behind his 2 chariots and faced away so that he couldn't see me, but I could see his War Dogs, and I shot him up, or later, I guess. So now magic phase. What was the Winds of Magic?
Winds of Magic, I'm not sure.
Oh well. Well, I got a pretty high roll because I casted a lot of spells. First, I tried to cast Enchanted Blades on my Dark Riders. It's a pretty low to cast, but I wound up getting a miscast anyway. So they got the spell off irresistibly. But I rolled an 8 on the miscast table and took a Strength 6 hit on my caster, and that's her first wound. And I lost 2 power dice to that. After that, I rolled for Power of Darkness, which is the Dark Elf Sorceress like innate ability, which gives me D3 plus 1 power dice. And Nick dispelled that after I got it off, so I think I was left with 3 more power dice, and I casted Searing Doom on his Vortex Beast, which is really good against chariots. I wound up doing, I think it was 4 wounds to the Vortex Beast first turn, because no armor save and it's flaming attacks from lower metal, so no regeneration. And that was the magic phase, I believe.
Yeah, so that's a good call on Lore of Magic. Lore of Metal.
Yeah, Lore of Metal is really good.
Because you got that signature spell. that's flaming. So when I went to go roll for my regen saves, he's like, flaming.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
And then the shooting phase, I basically, with the enchanted blades, I shot his war dogs for, I think it was 3s to hit on, or maybe it was 4s to hit on basically multiple shots with my Dark Riders, and they took 3 wounds, failed the panic test, and fled through the...
Alright, so for Warriors of Chaos turn 1, in my movement phase, I had to move up everything full because with those chariots, you need to get them to the enemy. After that flaming attack spell from Kyle, I'm making my Vortex Beast have a just make a mad dash towards that magic circle right there. This way I can get some magic res in case he does try to hit him again. The War Dogs rally, which is, fine. All the way over there to the left, my Demon Prince is making a run towards the Witch Elves. I know he's got wings on that model there, but I didn't have enough points to get the Demonic Flight, so he's moving by foot. And then... Alright, for my magic phase, I rolled 9 dice. So what I did was I took 3 and threw 3 of them at Fireball, so I could hit those fast cavalry. But I either didn't get it, which is kind of sad, or I think Kyle dispelled it. And then I went for the Vortex Beast bound spell onto the Spearmen, the Warriors, but Kyle also dispelled that. So it was a pretty slow phase for me.
All right, for my second turn, he basically turned his Hero's Chariot to try to face my fast cav, so I moved them out of the way towards his Gorebeast Chariot in that area, and charged with my Cold One Chariot into his chariot. And I also wheeled the Witch Elves a little bit towards the Demon Prince so that he couldn't run past me and get a flank charge in. I think that's all I moved, really. And then for Magic, it was extremely dull. I rolled really well for Winds of Magic, which was an 11, but when I tried to cast my upgraded spell, or my upgraded signature spell, Searing Doom, on his Vortex Beast, I rolled enough dice, but got really, really unlucky with it and failed to cast by, I think it was 1, which happens a lot this game.
I think you rolled like 3 ones with 4 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad, and my magic phase ends right there. So
this is pretty. This is the first point where we're like, I wish I did this for my list. So Kyle brought a level 3 caster instead of a level 4. So we used what did you use to save points?
Tome of Fury, which gives him an extra spell. So I saved like 20 points, but
that +1, that additional +1, might have helped him. Not only this time, but a couple times. You'll see.
Yeah. And for shooting, my Dark Riders shot the War Dogs that were in front of the Hydra. Did 2 wounds, but they didn't flee or anything, so nothing really exciting there. And for close combat, my Chariot, I believe it only did 1 wound with its impact hits, which was really disappointing. And in close combat, I did really nothing to his Chariot because elves aren't really that strong, and Cold Ones with Strength 4 versus his Toughness 5 Chariot didn't really do much, but he managed to inflict 4 wounds onto my Chariot with his Halberdiers.
Yeah, Chaos Warriors.
And I saved 3 of them, luckily, with really lucky rolls. So basically, we tied in combat, and I stayed.
I was surprised. I really thought I was going to broke. I was like, oh no. But then Chaos Chariots, man, Toughness 5, all those attacks, Chaos Steeds at nice strength.
Strength 4 horses, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, so for Warriors of Chaos turn 2, I had some charges. My Demon Prince issued a charge on the Witch Elves. I think I needed to roll like a 7 or 8, because, he does have, I think, movement 8.
Movement 8, I believe.
Yeah, movement 8 or movement 9 or something crazy. But he does false charge, which is not a big deal. I think he false charged 6 inches, so he didn't get to move up a little bit. And then my Chariot there to the right does issue a charge on the Cold One Chariot.
Should not have happened.
So we'll see how that goes. And then everything else just moves up. That hero on the Chariot facing the fast cavalry. Hopefully I can get my magic fireball off again. And then that Vortex Beast is just running all the way up there. I don't want him to charge me, so that's why the dogs are in front of both the Spearman and the Hydra. This way I could save myself with some charges if he does decide to charge, either my Gorebeast Chariot or the Vortex Beast. Alright, so for Magic Phase, I rolled I believe 9 for Winds of Magic, so I threw 3 more dice at the fireball, and again, Kyle either dispelled it or just...
I don't think I dispelled it. I think you just failed because...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I got the spell off. I rolled 1 hit, and then I didn't wound.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was just something really embarrassing like that. Vortex Beast got his spell off, and Kyle wasn't able to dispel it for whatever reason.
Because you got miscast
Yes.
and irresistible force.
Oh, yeah. So you roll the dice, bam, 6. So he just got to take a toughness test for every guy in that unit. Does the wizard take a wound?
She passed her toughness
All right,
test.
so she passes, but 17 spearmen drop. And pop comes a chaos spawn.
Pop goes the chaos spawn.
So one of his elf warriors decided to spawn into a nice little chaos spawn, which is just going to get in the way and is worth no victory points. In combat, the Chaos Chariot does 5 impact hits and does 2 wounds. And then one of the charioteers does a wound, and then...
I believe I saved one of them, so I had 1 wound left after that.
Right. So I think, yeah, we're down to 1 wound left with whatever happened, but you did pass your leadership test, so we stayed to fight another round there.
Cold. All right, for my turn, I moved the fast cab in front of the Gorbeast chariot and tried to divert a charge if I was able to overrun with my warriors, which I'll get to in a sec. I charged with my Witch Elves to his Demon Prince because I figured next turn he's going to either charge me or run around me, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I just ran headlong into his Demon Prince with my Witch Elves, which, I mean, it was a questionable decision, but it worked out. I also charged his 3 War Dogs with my Hydra, and I charged his 2 War Dogs with my unit of Spearmen, which was a bit of a mistake, but my intention was to charge into them and break them and overrun past the Vortex Beast's charge range, and as well as the Chaos Spawn, which worked out actually. But in my magic phase, I couldn't cast Searing Doom, which is what my intention was. I didn't realize that it was a magic missile. I thought it was a direct damage spell, so I wasn't able to use it at all. But I rolled pretty well for Winds of Magic, and I was able to cast my 5+ Scaly Skin on my warriors, give them a 3+ armor save. My Enchanted Blades on the Witch Elves was dispelled. I casted Power of Darkness and got back to 5 dice, and I miscasted Transmutation on his Vortex Beast and a chance to just wipe it off the map with a roll of a 6 for no reason. And I believe I took another wound. I killed 1 dog and 4 elves with my Detonate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. And for shooting, actually, my Dark Riders took a shot in the dark and shot the Gorbeast chariot and did a wound to it.
Stupid.
With their Strength 3 armor-piercing crossbows.
Yes. Toughness 6 with Strength 3 shots, and with awesome armor save, and you do a wound. So
yeah. All right. And close combat, my chariot finally valiantly fell in battle. My Hydra wiped the floor with the actually, I don't think my Hydra actually attacked. It was just the Beastmasters that killed the wolves.
Actually, no. Does the thing do impact hits?
No.
No. Yeah. So the
Beastmasters just whipped the beasts and they just left.
That's awesome.
My Witch Elves, they have Always Strike First and Frenzy and Poison attacks and a Death Hag. So I mean they basically did a wound to his Demon Prince, which I was pretty impressed with. He did 6 wounds, I believe. And I managed to still win combat with ranks, standard, battle standard, my wound. So I kept Frenzy and did a wound, which I thought was a pretty good turn on their part.
Yeah, I failed my ward save and my armor save. Now here's one of my first mistakes. When I made my list so quickly, I forgot to give him an enchanted shield, which is
2+ armor.
Yeah, I would have had a 1+ armor save, and I mean the parry wouldn't have done anything. That doesn't really count, but yeah. So the fact that I wasn't able to get a nice 1-up armor save because was it the hero that was doing
it was
strength 4
the
hits?
Death Hag, yeah. She was doing strength
Yes.
4 hits, so -1 armor save.
Mm-hmm. And then the other stupid thing was I just was rushing. I should have been attacking the hero and killed her the first turn.
He got cocky after he killed half my unit of elves in one turn.
Yeah. So I probably should have knocked out that hero this way. Who had always strike first? Was it the BSB or the unit?
It was the BSB.
All right. So if I would have killed the BSB, I would have gotten points to the hero. And
Points
then
to the BSB.
The BSB, the hero, and then you wouldn't have been getting always strike first.
Yeah.
So that's just stupid. I shouldn't have been doing that. I shouldn't have been attacking the unit. So yeah, shame on me for that.
All right, and the Warriors actually they destroyed. Actually, I think the sorceress killed one of the wolves herself with her one attack, and then the Warriors killed the other ones, and they overran I think 7 inches, which was just in range or out of range of the Vortex Beast, his charge range, and far enough away where I was comfortable from the Chaos Spawn, so that he wouldn't rear charge me. So I think it was a very big success. And as you can see by this picture, me moving the Fast Cav in that position actually saved my Warriors, because the Gorebeast Chariot basically has to charge the Fast Cav, which we'll get into next turn.
All right, so for Warriors of Chaos turn 3, I had some charges. The Chariot charged the Chariot charged the Dark Elf Spearman, but I false charged, so he ended up right next to the Magic Circle there. The Gorebeast Chariot did charge the Fast Cavalry, and Kyle wanted to accept the charge. I didn't know if he was going to flee. Why didn't you flee?
Because you just redirected the charge onto my
Warriors.
Yeah,
I would have redirected the charge onto the Elf Spearman. And then in compulsory, the Chaos Spawn needed to roll like an 8 to charge the Warriors.
I think you got a 5 or something like that.
Yeah, it was sad. I kind of needed him to charge in there to get some kills, but oh well. And then I moved the Vortex Beast out of the way of the Hydra, because the Hydra would just rip that thing apart, so I wanted to hide him a little bit.
Flaming attacks.
Yeah, flaming attacks, exactly. The breath weapon would destroy him in combat. And then the Chaos Hero on the bottom there just shuffled up a little bit. He's moving 8 inches a turn. So moving into the magic phase, I do the bounce spell for the Vortex Beast again, and bam! I rolled a 6 again, so he loses another crap full of guys, and boop! I pop out another spawn.
I think I only lost like 7 guys compared to 17.
Yeah, but 7 of 18 isn't bad. But I mean, I just like that I'm.
This is where I got my small elite unit of my command and my sorceress.
Yep, and the elves just start shitting out chaos spawns. So, and then into combat. Again, I was being stupid and didn't attack the Death Hag, so the Death Hag still gives the unit always strike first. So they're attacking me. The Death Hag does another wound onto the Demon Prince, and then I think it was a lot of the issue was the poison with this unit, because I mean they needed 6s to hit me. And
Death Hag needed 5s.
Yeah, the Death Hag needed 5s, but for the most part they needed 6s to hit me. So any hits that they did get automatically wounded. And at this point, he still had Frenzy and whatnot.
I didn't have Frenzy. I still.
Oh no, you have it this turn. I win combat this turn.
Okay, yeah.
You lose a couple more elves, and you only have 2 ranks left. So, however combat worked out, I won, but he stayed with Steadfast. But he did lose Frenzy, which I was happy about. But I'm going to say it a third time. I should have been killing his hero. I don't know why I wasn't.
And the impact hits on your Gorebeast Chariot, you killed all of the Fast Cav.
Yeah.
Didn't win all your impact hits.
Yep, I didn't even have to roll, so they just went in there and smashed him up. And then I overrunned pretty far. Looking back at it, I kind of wish I didn't. I mean, I thought I was going to be all right with the...
You wanted to get the Witch Elves, basically.
Yeah, I wanted to essentially have him turn around and attack the Witch Elves, but you'll see what happens instead. So on to Dark Elf turn 4.
All right, for my turn 4, I charged his Chaos Spawn with my Hydra, which was a pretty straightforward battle. I also moved my unit of 3 command and my sorceress. I passed the leadership test to march and marched them 10 inches away from the Vortex Beast, because that thing is scary. And basically I was out of charge range for everything of his, which is really, really good. And I'm glad he overran with the Gorebeast Chariot. For Magic, I rolled pretty well on Moons of Magic. I got 12, which is, I guess, more than pretty well. I tried to cast Final Transmutation, on his heroes, but it was dispelled, unfortunately. I casted Enchanted Blades on my Witch Elves, giving them +1 to hit, which is really good for the Nurgle on his Demon Lord, Demon Prince, and they also have armor piercing from that. And I cast a Glittering Robe on the unit of 3 Spearmen and my Sorceress, giving the Spearmen a 3-up armor and the Sorceress a 5-up, which really doesn't really matter at all. No shooting, because everything died.
They're all dead.
And for close combat, my Hydra destroys the spawn pretty handily. The Witch Elves do pretty well. The Death Hag is hitting on 4s again, and the Witch Elf unit is hitting on 5s.
Add an additional -1 armor save.
So the Death Hag has -2 armor save. The unit has -1, so which is really, really strong against the Demon Prince, and he takes another wound, which I think how many is he down to? I think he's down to 2 wounds now.
1 wound. 1 wound.
Yeah, he's down to 1 wound.
So yeah, he's kind of hanging in there.
Unbreakable is really good.
Yeah, Unbreakable.
You do another 4 wounds or so to my Witch Elves, which I mean
is pathetic with Thunderstomp and.
I think you rolled a 1 on Thunderstomp and then rolled a 1 to hit the wounds. Yeah. So like you didn't do anything.
Because I need 2s to wound, 2s to hit, 2s to wound.
Because he had Sword of Striking, I believe.
Yep, and Strength, whatever, Strength 6 or whatever it is. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, so for Warriors of Chaos, turn 4. With my Chargers, the Spawn and the Chariot charge the Hydra, and then I reposition a bunch of other things. I reposition the Vortex Beast, the Gore Beast Chariot, my Hero on Chariot. I mean, everything's lined up to just wipe the field. I just need to do some cleanup duty, knock out the rest of the elves. Bam, I got this game. All right, so going into Winds of Magic, I rolled 12. Yay! I 6 diced the Ruby Ring, and I'm pretty sure
you miscast,
so the ring's destroyed. And then once again, I roll for only 1 wound.
And my Scaly Skin gives me a 3+ armor save -1, so I have a 4-up, and he doesn't wound. Or actually, I think you only did 1 wound. Actually,
I don't know. You armor saved. I don't know. It was stupid. I don't even.
You
want
did
to
1
talk
wound.
about
I think you might have rolled like 2 or 3 wounds.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
What a waste. And then the Vortex Beast did his bound spell. He got it off. I rolled a 1. So I did D6 toughness tests. And I'm pretty sure, again, I only rolled a 1. So he took 1 toughness test. Pretty sure he passed. And now they have fear.
So I have a sorceress that causes fear.
Yep. So like everything else in this freaking book, if it goes wrong, you help out the enemy. So just like Flickering Fire, this is good. So Flickering Fire and Vortex Beast go really well if you want to aid your enemy during the game. So just remember that. So combat. The Spawn and the Chariot wipe off the Hydra. Bam.
The Hydra was able to kill the spawn, and he failed to do anything to the Chariot, and failed his break test, and the Chariot overran him into the building.
Yep.
He splattered him into the side of the building.
Right into the side of the building. So, man, impact hits really helped me, but the Chaos Warrior Initiative is so awesome.
Yep.
So then to the... All right, so this is where the game slowly gets stupid. As you know, I haven't been attacking the hero of the game, so they still have Always Strike First against my initiative, 9 Demon Prince. So the Hag just finishes off the Demon Prince. So he's dead.
I mean, they still have Enchanted Blades, so I mean, she's hitting on 4s.
Very dead.
So
they don't have friends anymore, but at any point when you've got 12, 13, 14 Witch Elves still left on the battlefield.
With a Death Hag, which is
Death Hag,
20 Witch Elves.
Late game, 2-hand weapons on the unit. It's just not something you want around. But then again, Strength 3, I mean, they're not going to wound as easily, but when they do, with that 6, that's it. I mean, so he faces them to face the Gore Beast Chariot. And remember, this is the end of my turn, so he gets to charge it next turn with all of his...
So I get to charge the gorilla.
Yes. That thing does look like a gorilla. Does anyone agree? Please put comments below. This thing is a gorilla with armor.
It's a chaos gorilla.
All right, back to reality. So on to Dark Elf turn.
All right, so my turn 5. The Witch Elves charge the Gore Beast Chariot, and I believe the unit of 3 warriors, or 2 warriors and the sorceress, turn around and bolt for the out of line of sight of all the other things that can kill them. And they get out of there pretty successfully. For magic, I'm able to cast Enchanted Blades on the Witch Elves to negate the Nurgle Mark. And interestingly enough, I managed to throw 8 dice at Searing Doom and kill the hero and the chariot.
How does that spell work again?
The upgraded is 2d6 hits, and they wound on equal to his armor save. So he has a 3-up armor save.
So you're wounding on 3s.
They're wounding on 3s. I think I rolled like 10 hits and managed to do like 7 or 8 wounds allocated, just enough to kill both of them.
So the chariot was 3 up, and then since it acts as a monstrous mount, then chaos armor plus the mount, he's up at 3. Yeah, so it was just stupid. Yeah, just right off the battlefield. Whoop.
Don't underestimate Lord Metal.
Yeah. All right, so combat.
The Witch Elves. I believe the Death Hag does a wound to the Toughness 6 Gorby's Chariot, and I think 2 more wounds from the unit itself. And the Gorby's Chariot, I don't think you do any wounds, do you?
I do something.
I think you did like 2 or 3 wounds.
2 or 3
actually.
wounds. Yeah, 2 guys pop out the back there, but
yeah.
I do pass my leadership test to stay, so lucky for that.
Yeah. So I mean, Witch Elves doing their thing.
All right, so Warriors of Chaos turn 5 was pretty quick. I just repositioned all my stuff to face those warriors there. I made sure I backed up enough so if he did move full, he would still get charged by one of the 2 chariots or the Vortex Beast. Come magic phase, I try to get the spell off onto them, but Kyle dispels it. So that was kind of my last attempt to kind of finish that unit off there, but he finally was able to dispel that ability. And then during combat, since he has always strike first and
higher initiative
and whatever, he finishes off the Gorby's Chariot. The Toughness 6 Gorby's Chariot finished off. So I'm going to give all the credit to Poison. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah, Poison, man.
And
Tough
the
stuff.
Death Hag.
All right, so
I just want to note that every turn with her Rune of Cain, I rolled about a 5 or a 6, so I gave her 3 extra attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have helped a little bit.
I should have killed the hero.
Yeah, probably. All right, this is Dark Elves turn 6. I'm basically trapped here with my unit of warriors and my sorceress, so I try to bolt with my caster like away from the magic circle right there, and I move the warriors towards the chariot on the right. Try to split them up, try to save one of them, and salvage some victory points. And my Witch Elves charged the Vortex Beast. It already had 4 wounds on it from the first turn. It's a long time to be with 2 wounds left, so I decided to put it out of its misery.
I think I only have 1 wound left.
No, 1 wound left? I had 5 wounds? Okay. Well, it had 1 wound left, and it was just aching to die. So the Witch Elves charge. And, Magic phase, I roll pretty well for Reigns of Magic. I cast Searing Doom on one of the chariots, and it's dispelled. So I decide, I'm just going to cast, throw 3 dice at Enchanted Blade, try to secure the victory, and kill the Vortex Beast. Little do I know, I roll 2 6s and a 1, and my caster miscasts and is wiped off the face of the planet. So that didn't really work out as saving her life. But they do have +1 to hit, so the Witch Elves absolutely destroy the Vortex Beast. They have Death Hag has -2 armor save, the Witch Elves have -1. +1 to hit, it's no contest, they absolutely kill it. And that's my turn.
All right, so for to close out the game, Warriors of Chaos turn 6, I essentially just finish off the Dark Elf Spearman and get those victory points, but it's not enough because Kyle ends up with how many victory points?
I think it was 490 victory points with the Death Hag, BSB, and the unit of Witch Elves, which
Right.
were a lot of points.
Well, that's how much. Yeah, that's how much he had left on the field.
Yeah.
And I had only about 250 left on the field. So when we calculated in banners and whatnot, it was still a couple hundred points that Kyle was ahead.
Both generals died.
Yeah, both generals did die, which is pretty crazy. But just a really interesting, quick game. I mean,
A lot of mistakes on both sides.
a lot of mistakes, but it went quick. We played that game in about
I think it was
an
two-
hour
two-
and a
I
half,
think
2
it was
hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so we just kind of blew through it real quick. But interesting. The chaos spawns twice. I like it.
I think you killed 2/3 of that unit with that spell.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
other wounds.
The chaos spawns did absolutely nothing that game.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they helped kill out the Hydra, but I don't know. I just like the fact that they're just popping out everywhere.
Well, I mean, I guess you could have put them in front of them, and I wouldn't have been able to overrun.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't think I just didn't think things were going to go south from there. I thought everything was all right. So,
Well, I probably should have taken a level 4 caster anyway.
yeah,
I
you should have.
think the 3 warriors there might have been worth the extra wizard level.
That's true.
I
Yeah,
lost
I
the
don't know.
magic phase. I lost countless dispels, but
I think the +1 would have helped you because there was a couple times where I would get the Vortex Beast spell off, and he would go to dispel it, and he'd always lose it by 1. I'd
Yep.
roll like an 18, and he'd roll a 17 or something. So like he would have been able to dispel it a bunch of times, but I'm gonna try to continue with the Vortex Beast. I like it, but only in a list where I'm not bringing a caster.
yeah,
So,
you
like-
don't want to waste dice on it.
Yeah, so maybe my cast list going forward, I might try a Vortex Beast and a War Shrine. This way I can use my dice on just the bound spells.
No miscasts.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
It
fun.
did help me that you didn't have a caster though.
Yeah, it did.
No plus to your casts or
Yeah.
dispels.
I don't know. I just went for. I really didn't think I was going to win this game just based on the list. So essentially, just all the chariot and stuff. I just did something real
Poor
quick.
rolls on everyone's part,
Yeah.
and then
Just a quick list, bunch of chariots, some heroes. But I think, although the game was really close, I probably would have done even better, or maybe won, just based on the scenario. Like you could see Kyle's deployment wasn't the end of the world with the dawn attack,
yeah.
but with all my chariots on the right side of the field, it took forever to get him in a good place. So like,
Yeah.
say that Demon Prince, he was only fighting the Witch Elves for just one turn, and then some chariots came in for support later, would have changed the game, but I spent half the turn moving them across the field, so...
Or if you actually focus the hero.
Yeah, if I would have just killed the Death Hag. I don't know.
Gotta find a way to protect her.
A problem with a lot of my games is towards the middle, if I've got it, I'm not going to say I get cocky, because I don't, like, shove it in the opponent's face, but I just kind of, like, lay back and be like,
Careless. Yeah,
oh, I got
careless.
this. So, like, I stopped thinking on the competitive edge. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let my troops do the work for me. Or really, I should be making some better decisions. So, I'm going to try paying attention a little bit more, so... But we should also stop playing games at, like, 11 o'clock at night, so...
Yeah. More people should take Lore of Metal, by the way.
Yeah, cool. Cool lore. Everything's fire attacks in the lore?
Everything's fire.
Everything's
armor,
flaming,
Everything
so-
ignores armor saves.
I mean, that's good against chaos in general, especially demons, because if they bring Nurgle, I mean,
No regen.
yeah, the regen. The regen's always better than the ward save, right?
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
one up from the ward save usually.
But, alrighty, anything else you want to add in?
I'm good.
Cool.
a
Thanks
good
for
game.
watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.